Hello and welcome to the Orthodox View, where we discuss latest religious news from an Orthodox Christian perspective. I am its host, Philip Champion. Planted agents. Serbian Bishop Stefan of Remisiana has told that participants in the recent protests in Montenegro spoke poor Serbian. Most likely they were brought in from Albania or other countries. The bishop noted that there wasn't too many people participating in the unrest. There weren't many people, fewer than 500. Those people spoke poor Serbian. They were from Albania and they weren't Christians. It is bad that President Milo Đukanović was with them. He fell low. Bishop Stefan believes the disorders were organized by the same forces that dislike the uniting role of the Serbian Church in Montenegro. Europe is closing from migrants. The Pope of Rome visited Budapest. The main aim of his visit was an attempt to persuade the Hungarian leaders to open the country for migrants. Pope Francis noted that a deep faith should not exclude benevolence towards people of other religions. Meanwhile, the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has repeatedly stated that the country is not ready to let migrants in the country. Last week, he said that today's migrants are mostly Muslims, while it is the traditional Christian family policy that may help to come out of the demographic crisis. On his Facebook page, he later wrote that he asked Pope Francis to prevent Christian Hungary from perishing. Meanwhile, in neighboring Austria, they also stated that they would no longer admit any migrants from Afghanistan. The head of the Austrian government underlined that the integration of refugees, with their poor education and values alien to Europeans, has proved to be an extremely complicated job. A true genocide. The deputy chairman of the Moscow Patriarchate's Department for External Church Relations, Archbishop Leonid, has called to protect Christians in Africa against genocide. During the G20 Interfaith Forum in Italian Bologna, the hierarch pointed to the disastrous situation of Christians in many states. I quote, "While we're keeping silent, a real elimination of the Christian population is taking place in a number of African countries. In Nigeria, Congo, Burkina Faso, Mozambique, armed gangs of extremists purposefully and with impunity commit mass killings of Christians." Archbishop Leonid also spoke of the discrimination against the faithful of the canonical Ukrainian Orthodox Church, whose churches are taken away to be handed over to the schismatics from the so-called Orthodox Church of Ukraine. Cyrillic alphabet found to be hindering. The Ukrainian authorities have proposed to switch to the Latin alphabet, which has caused bewilderment in society. Metropolitan Anthony of Borispol and Brovary pointed to the desire of the country's leadership to conceal real problems behind empty slogans. I quote, "For Ukraine to live a happy life, it is necessary not to change alphabets, but to stop squandering state property, to stop generating hate and deceiving people." The Metropolitan also compared the attempt to remedy Ukrainians' economic problems by changing the alphabet to the assurances that the creation of the OCU would help overcome the church schism. Fraternal aid. Serbia will participate in the restoration of the Jasenovac monastery in Croatia. This was stated by the Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić during his meeting with the Patriarch Porphyry of Serbia. I quote, "We will participate in the restoration of several objects that are important for history and owned by the Serbian Church." The monastery was built in 1775. In 1941, it was ravaged by the Nazis and made a part of the Jasenovac concentration camp. ready to die in order to live with God. The second part of the documentary, The Faithful, has been released in Ukraine. It is devoted to the faithful of the canonical Ukrainian Orthodox Church. The plot is based on the bloody capture of St. George Church in the Ternopil region. Who are they, the true confessors of the Orthodox faith of our time? How can one tolerate mockery while praying for one's offender? Can one betray the faith in order to survive? You will find answers to all the questions in the film The Faithful, available on the website of the Department for External Church Relations of the Russian Orthodox Church. This is all for now. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time on The Orthodox View.